Tyler.
Good afternoon and welcome to another live high school football presentation on BayPreps.com. Live from Serra High School at Fridas Field in San Mateo. I am Pat O'Rourke, and with me is our student broadcaster for today, Robert Dieters, and we'll be talking to Robert here in just a moment as we bring you this outstanding matchup involving the Serra Padres, 7-1, 4-1 in conference play, and the St. Ignatius Wildcats, who are 6-2. And also 4-1 in league play. The only blemish on these teams' schedules were losses to Bellarmine SI, falling 35-28 on their home field last week, and Serra, of course, losing here 35-34 in overtime when they played the Bells 3 weeks back. We will pause for a prayer and national anthem here at Fridas Field in San Mateo at Serra High School.
By Serra Senior Joey Ruggiero.
Son and the Holy Spirit, amen. Loving God, as we celebrate this beautiful weather today, we begin with a moment of silence for those on the east coast of our country who are suffering. Those suffering emotionally, those suffering physically, and those suffering spiritually. We take a moment for all those. Lord, bless them with your healing presence, the wisdom and guidance of your Spirit. As today we welcome the community of St. Ignatius, keep their young men safe, Lord, and keep our Padres safe always in your love and in your care. In Jesus' name, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Serra Senior Joey Ruggiero.
Nice job done by a student here, and it is Polynesian Day. And as we told you, Robert Dieters is our student broadcaster from Serra High School, joining us today. And Robert, tell us what Polynesian means to the high school and the community.
Polynesian Day is when all the players get.
Productions.com for tickets, or you can get them at the door. Show starts at 7:30. We'd like to welcome the game officials today. Referee Rob McKelly, umpire Bill Camacho, head linesman J.C. Avakian, line judge Roberto Lopez, and back judge Matt Parfait.
Good, and we'll definitely have to take advantage of that a little bit later on as we get ready for this matchup. SI and Serra, both these teams, we told you 4-1 in league play. The only blemish on their schedules in league was losses to Bellarmine, who was undefeated and has won 14 consecutive WCAL games after they beat Valley Christian 38-35 last night, the same score that Serra beat the Warriors by when they played a week ago. So when you look at the blemishes, Serra, the overtime loss to Bellarmine, and St. Ignatius, they lost to Bellarmine by a touchdown, and they also lost to Marin Catholic by a touchdown in their opening game of the year. So when these teams get beat, it's not by much, and this could, for all intents and purposes, could be for second place in this conference, and it's also possible these teams can meet again in the CCS Open Division playoffs.
Yeah, and Bellarmine, a very tough team, as the overtime, as Walsh wanted to go for 2 and not tie it up. So, you know, Walsh is a good coach and made a great call, and everyone supported him.
Yeah, he's someone that did go for 2 in the win against Buhack Colony, and it certainly worked out very successfully then. Here is a kickoff by Toms, a very good kicker, and it bounces at the SI5, and it's returned from the goal line, and in fact it is going to be a touchback as they were not able to return that. Albert Waters in the white for St. Ignatius. Thought he got that one before it hit the goal line, but it's going to be 1st and 10 for SI. We talked about field position, how that could be a factor when we spoke with Coach Walsh in our interview that we do on BayPreps.com. We talk to Coach Walsh nearly every week before games. We also talked to SI coach John Regalia, although we were unable to track down Coach Regalia yesterday. His team trying to shake off that loss to Bellarmine, and they've got a 1st and 10 from their own 20. SI got off to a very good start last week against Bellarmine. Took a lead in that contest, 14-7, but Bellarmine responded before the end of the first half and went kind of like what they did against Serra when they played the Padres. As Jackson, the left-hander, wants to throw right off the bat, and his pass incomplete, intended across the middle for Connor Holbert, and it bounced off the arm of Fia Malapei, who is everywhere defensively for this Padres team.
Yeah, and he is known as the Poly Badger here at Serra.
The Poly Badger. So obviously he's a lot more excited for this game than a lot of other guys.
Yes, he is. He's a big player for the Padres.
And he's having a great season at defense. Of course, Serra is missing Hamilton Onawahi, who got hurt in their WCAL opener against Mitty in a game we did some time ago. As Stin is out of the gun on 2nd down and 10. Stin is flushed, and he wants to run, and he can run. He's on his move past the 30-yard line, got the 1st down and more. Prior to get to the 40-yard line, he steps out of bounds. And that's something Jack Stin, we know, as we said, can do. He's someone that ran last week for 55 yards, primarily in the first half against the Bells. He didn't run too much in the second half, and here he picks up 18 yards to make it 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats. And again, he's out of the gun with backs set to each side. Elijah Dale's an outstanding running back for SI, yet to get a carry in this game, 5'8", 175-pound junior. And he doesn't get the carry here. Instead, it's Stin on the option running right. And Stin is taken down by Josh Cordova as he runs to his right. But Stin picks up about 4.
There's been a lot of good rushing by the QB as play before. He found a really big hole that he took advantage of.
And it's now 2nd down and 6 after those back-to-back running plays by Jack Stin. He's got Waters to his right, Dale to his left, a couple of very good backs, and this one goes to Waters, who ran for an 80-yard touchdown last week, but this time he gets nothing. Waters had 3 carries for 80 yards. That 80-yard touchdown run against the Bells was a big play in that game, brought SI within 7, but Bellarmine quickly answered after that score. And it's 3rd down and 6 yards to go. So the Padres looking for a stop here as SI has the ball at their own 42-yard line. SI, before that loss last week, was 4-0 in league, and that's something they hadn't done in 45 years in this tough conference. Stin out of the guns, got 2 receivers set to each side. His favorite target is Andrew Vollert, a 6'5", 212-pound senior. But Stin is going to be brought down before he gets a chance to throw. Getting to him in the backfield is Peter Tuipulotu. The 6', 220-pound senior is the Padres' leading tackler, and he brings down Stin for a big loss.
Peter Tuipulotu is a big weapon for the Serra Padres, as he plays middle linebacker, and this guy is pretty scary when you see him.
It's a loss of 9, and obviously SI will punt with 10:03 to go in the opening quarter in their first possession. They got the 1 first down on the 18-yard gainer by Stin, but stopped thereafter. The punter is also a receiver, Joe Lane, 5'10", 151-pound junior. He's standing at his own 20. Snap is a good one, and he punts it away, although Serra did bring some pressure. Back to return was Aesop Winston, but he's not going to get a chance as it is a short punt, and Serra's going to get good field position at their own 41. Punt of about 25 yards. So now we get a look at the Serra offense, which of course has Zach Kazikoff at quarterback, but led by Eric Redwood, 5'8", 175-pound senior, answering a very good junior campaign with an exceptional senior campaign as they take over for 9:38 to go in the opening quarter. And this is Redwood up the box. Redwood does such a good job staying on his feet. They try to strip the ball away. Does Matt Emery, but Redwood holds on to it and he picks up 9.
And Eric Redwood, for one game, had over 200 yards rushing, and he's been a big factor as Eric Wilson was the bigger running back last season for the Serra Padres.
Yeah, Wilson now at the University of Washington, and Redwood picking up where he left off. Redwood back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and on 2nd down and 1, he gets the pitch, stays on his feet, and gets the first down where he is again met by Emery. But that's what Redwood will do. You know, you look at him in stature, 5'8", 175 pounds, not that big, but he's tough to go take down. He does not go down easily. He's got strong legs, obviously.
Yeah, and this guy is a very good running back, and he is one of the best in the WCAL.
In fact, we've seen 2 of the 3 best backs in WCAL when you look at yardage, as these 2 guys, Elijah Dale and Eric Redwood from each side, and then you've got Ryan Severson from Valley Christian. And this is Redwood once again, so 3 consecutive carries for the Serra senior, and he picks up 3. He's got 3 carries for 15 yards. But when you look at the rushing yardage leaders, Severson, after a huge game last night, he had 277 yards against Bellarmine. That's not easy to do. He's now at 1,373 in the season. He overtakes Elijah Dale for the lead in the conference. Dale's at 1,099 entering today, and Redwood's at 1,082. 2nd down and 7 for the Padres. Kazikoff out of the gun. 2 receivers set to each side. Kazikoff steps up, going to try to run for it, and he's not going to get much as the SI defense does a good job meeting him and bringing him down. Charlie Ford among those in on the stop, 6'2", 185-pound senior, and now it's 3rd down coming up for Serra. Kazikoff has 127 rushing yards in the season, and of course, as a Serra quarterback, you're not called upon to throw too much, but there is more of a threat in the Serra passing game this year.
Yes, there is, and as well as last season, as Joey Erdy, the senior last year for the Serra Padres, he was a very good QB as well.
Erdy is such a threat to run also last year, had a very good season running the ball as Kazikoff wants to throw for the first time, sets up the screen to Redwood on this near side. Redwood looked like he might have ran into his own guy, and he takes it inside the 40, close to a first down, but it looks like it's going to be a yard shy. So a 4th down decision for coming up for Coach Walsh is going to be coming up as they're about a yard shy of the first.
And the Padres are going to be going for Eric Redwood. He's the big running guy. This guy can get first downs.
And it's going to be 4th down and a yard from the Serra 38-yard line. Redwood, told you, 1,082 yards in the season coming in, 151 last week in the win against Valley. And he gets the pitch on 4th and 1, follows his blockers, gets the first down and more, and will be taken down inside the 35-yard line. We talked about Coach Walsh going for those 2-point conversions in the win against Buhack Colony and the loss against Bellarmine. He is a gambler, not afraid to take those chances, and obviously it's a good spot in the field to do so when you're already inside the opponent's 40-yard line.
And everyone supports him, too. That makes him feel good that he's making good decisions out there for the team.
Redwood already up to 20 rushing yards as Serra started at their own 41. And now they're at the SI 33. 1st down and 10, 6:27 to go in the opening quarter. Getting the pitch, running right, cutting up fields. Angelo Arco, he's still going to go. Angelo Arco's going to take it all the way for the touchdown.
As Arco has gone in big yards.
Angelo Arco, a 33-yard touchdown run. He's coming off his best performance of the season. As you were mentioning, Robert, he's someone that's really come on for the Padres this year in his senior season.
Yeah, he gets big yardage. Even against Sacred Heart, he's been getting just big yardage every game. You can't just say one, but this guy just gets huge yardage every game he plays.
And Toms is very good on the extra point tries, and he boots it through. Arco came into this game 452 rushing yards, and on his first touch, he runs it in from 33 yards out, and Serra takes the 7-0 advantage with 6:19 to go in the opening quarter. Seven-play, 59-yard drive, capped off by the 59-yard run by Arco. Of course, Serra did convert a 4th down and 1 on that drive, and they take the 6-0 advantage.
Good job for Serra getting a really good start here, as it seems like if they get a pretty good start, they seem pretty confident, but you never want to get overconfident, as SI is a threat here for second place.
Well, Serra's got a tremendous running game. They have ran for 300 or more yards in every one of their league games coming into this contest. That's 5 straight games where they've ran for 300-plus yards as a team. And last year against SI, they had a field day running the ball. Of course, a much better SI team this year, as we got another touchback for Toms. And SI will start at the 20 with 6:19 to go in the opening quarter. But last year, Serra, in a win against SI, a 49-28 win, ran for 557 yards, which is just a remarkable number. And that was a good SI team, in fact, one that won the CCS Division III title. But they broke the school record with those 557 rushing yards by 59 yards. It's the second most ever total yards for the program in the storied tradition at Serra. And of course, they ran the ball so well they didn't need to throw it. They had 0 yards passing and 557 yards rushing. First down and 10 for SI, 6:19 to go. 7-0 Padres. Jack Stinn out of the gun. Stinn threw the ball just once, as he was sacked at one time and ran another. And his pass over the middle here falls incomplete, as he was looking for Albert Waters, a 5'9", 160-pound spark plug for the Wildcats.
Albert Waters, a captain for this SI team, and this guy is a threat as well for SI for the offense.
Yeah, he is, and he's someone that even Mitch Stevens mentioned as in his recap last week in the win against the loss to Bellarmine last week at SI, mentioning that Waters could definitely be seeing some more touches, as he is one of the many weapons in this SI attack. But Serra's defense came to play early on. This is SI's second possession. It's 2nd down and 10. Here's the pass across the middle. It's complete to Waters, who breaks a tackle at the 30, spins away, and takes it close to the 40-yard line. So a 19-yard gain for Waters, and the first completion of the day for Jack Stinn.
And also, you said Andrew Ballard, a big threat as well, as he actually went to my old school, St. Gregory, and as well as his brother, Brian Ballard, plays JV.
He's a big target at 6'5". The pass to Waters, behind Waters, and incomplete here on first down. SI using a little bit of a hurry-up offense. We saw that last week against Bellarmine, and it's 2nd down and 10. Stinn now 1 for 4 passing. Vollert last week, who you mentioned, and we are again joined by Robert Dieters, a student broadcaster here at Serra. I am Pat O'Rourke here on BayPreps.com. Vollert last week had 104 yards receiving, and he leads the WCAL with 701 receiving yards coming into today. 5:58 to go in the opening quarter. Stinn drops back. He wants to throw deep down the far left sideline, but it's incomplete. Again, he was looking for Waters, so they're definitely trying to make Waters very involved here in the early going. There's also a penalty marker deep in the SI backfield, and it's against the Padres. A blow to the head. So that is type of penalty that you hate to see as a head coach when it was going to be 3rd down and 10. But the blow to the head penalty is going to give SI 15 yards, the first down, and they're going to have the ball inside Serra territory.
Very unfortunate for the Serra Padres, as now it's in their territory. But, you know, their defense, I noticed one big guy, Matthew Dickerson, as a junior, and this guy is 6'5", 260 pounds. This guy is huge. He also went to St. Matt's, and this guy can get to the QB.
He's number 79 on the field for the Padres. Actually, just as we mentioned, he's comes out of the game.
Oh.
But he is a big guy, and they do have, of course, another big guy, Matt Jacobs, is 6'3", 215 pounds. He's the biggest one that's Serra defense right now. As Jackson wants to throw again on first down. He's down the near side for Vollert, and it's incomplete. Coverage on the play from the Padres. Justin Reyes, a 5'10", 170-pound senior. Reyes a corner along with Vince Camp. Kavamaka is the free safety, having a very good year. Outside linebackers Tyson Terreros and Matt Jacobs. The other linebackers are Malachi Green, Peter Tuipulotu, and Fia Malapai. And actually now we look at it, looks like Dickerson is number 99. So he is out on the field right now. The big, as you were mentioning, Robert, 6'5", 260-pound junior, wearing number 99, although he's listed on a roster as number 79. Two receivers split to the left on 2nd down and 10. This is Al Waters running off the left side. And Waters, nice open field tackle made right in front of the SI bench by, look like Mark Celentano taking him down. Celentano, 5'10", 160-pound senior, brings down Waters after just a couple. SI has only ran the ball a couple times with their backs. Stin has 13 yards rushing, although he was sacked once. But Elijah Dale still has not had a carry for SI. This is their second possession. It's 3rd down and 8 from the Serra 44. A little bit of a high snap. And the pass dropped. Vollert thinking about making a run after the catch, but he could not come down with it. And Jack Stin now 1 for 7 passing for 19 yards, although that wasn't his fault at all. Not being helped out by the receiver. And it looks like they're going to have to punt a second time. It's a 4th and 8. They would need to get to the Padre 36-yard line for a first. So Joe Lane, who punted it 25 yards the first time. With 5:05 to go here in the opening quarter. Standing at his own 43. This one angled over towards the far sideline, takes an SI bounce, and it's picked up by Dale at the 12-yard line. So it turns out very well for SI, and that Serra does not get good field position. The Padres started at their own 41 the first time they had the ball, and now they'll start at their own 12. Serra getting a 33-yard touchdown run from Angelo Arco with 6:19 to go in this first quarter to take the 7-0 advantage, capping a 7-play, 59-yard drive. It's 1st down and 10 here, and this is a pitch to Redwood, who takes it between the tackles.
Eric Redwood carrying for the Padres.
And he gets a couple.
And on special teams, actually, I forgot to mention, Aesop Woodston has returned a couple of punt returns for touchdowns this season as well.
Yeah, Serra prides themselves on having a good special teams. Bellarmine probably has the best special teams in this conference, but both these teams are very good, and that's, you know, it's no mistake why when you look at records, those three that have the best records in the conference, Bellarmine, SI, and Serra, because special teams obviously is a huge part of the game. And here is Redwood with a big hole up the middle. Redwood trying to make a move to the 50, still on his feet. In SI territory, he's taken out of bounds inside the 30. A 61-yard carry for Redwood. And he's now up to 83 yards. So he's trying to come after Ryan Severson, who's got that lead in the conference after his big game last night. Severson's at 1373, and Redwood updated stats is at 1165 right now. 1st down and 10 for the Padres. This is Kazakov keeping it himself, and he doesn't have anywhere to go. The SI white shirts collapse and bring him down. Among them on the stop was Charlie Ford. Just the SI defense that did allow 35 points last week to Bellarmine, but in the prior 2 games against Reardon and St. Francis, they held those teams to a combined total of 280 yards and 7 points. It's a much better defense than the one Serra ran on last year, but they are not off to a great start right now. Serra already leading 7-0, and the Padres looking for more. Redwood off the left side. Redwood runs over a man and gets a few as Dennis Shaniger on the stop.
Brings up a Padre 3rd down.
It's going to be 3rd down and 7 for Serra. They have the football at the SI 22-yard line. Passing down for a lot of teams, but we know of Serra's running game. They're not afraid to run it here. They've got Josh Cordova and Kenny McMillan as receivers split off to the right. Arco goes in motion. Here's Redwood. Big hole up the middle. And Redwood's got the 1st down as he gets close to the 10. So Redwood already over 100 yards with 2:45 to go in the opening quarter. You talk about setting the tone in a big game between these 2 teams, which are so highly ranked, both among the top 5 in our Bay Preps poll that is done every week by Harold Abend. Here's Angelo Arco getting the carry up the middle. He stays on his feet, and he takes it inside the 5-yard line. Another Serra back. That is a theme, a guy that will not go down easily.
And this running game, also as well as Kevin McGee, as he runs the Wildcat formation for the Serra Padres. And, you know, he also, an interesting fact, he also does wrestling. So I think wrestling kind of helps him with football.
And that's a good point, as he's a guy that has 214 rushing yards on the year. We haven't seen him carry the ball yet. Serra right now is at 142 rushing yards for this game on 2nd down and 3. And they try to keep it up the middle for a short gain. Via Malapei, who is kind of the short yardage back for this team. He's got 121 rushing yards on the year coming into this contest. And it's another 3rd down for Serra. 1:38 to go in the opening quarter. The Padres are knocking on the door.
And taking a huge lead here in the 1st quarter will be good for the Padres as they're securing 2 touchdowns.
We'll see if they can finish it off. It's 3rd down and 2. Malapei lined up behind Kazakov. The pitch goes to Kava Cassidy, and he is in for the touchdown. So Kava Cassidy, his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. He came in with 125 yards on the season, and he scores from 4 yards out. And Serra caps another good drive. This time they go 88 yards on 7 plays. The extra point try by Toms. And that is good. Don't have to worry too much when Toms is kicking the ball. He's had a few field goals this year, including a 40-plus yarder last week. But good start for Serra. Cassidy gets his 1st carry of the game, and he's able to find pay dirt.
Yeah, and this guy's a sophomore. He played on the freshman team with me, and he is such a unique player. He played on the Stars. He played for the Warriors. He's done a lot of football, and you know, making varsity and getting touchdowns. This guy has been fantastic.
And he certainly looked the part there, a guy that we're going to be keeping an eye on in the future, as Robert just mentioned, only a sophomore. And he's having a nice year, as Serra's not afraid to distribute in that running attack. And they now have 147 rushing yards in this game, 7-play, 88-yard drive there that spanned 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The first drive went 3 minutes and 19. A big start for the Padres. Kickoff by Toms. He's going to bounce at the 1. Is it going to go out of bounds? It's going to keep bouncing. Now SI's got to return it. This is Waters. He takes a big shot at the 10. That was Tyson Terreros, I believe, that gave that lick, a 5'11", 185-pound junior. And Waters was kind of hoping that ball would go out of bounds for the penalty, but it just stayed in. A break for Serra, and now SI starts at the 11.
And not that they will not get good field position here for the Cats.
Already 14-0 Serra, 33-yard touchdown run by Arco, a 4-yard run by Cassidy. Out of the I backfield, this is Dale finally getting a carry, and he's got nowhere to go. The first carry of the game comes on SI's third possession. For the guy who entered this week as the leading rusher in the WCAL, as we mentioned, Severson now the leader in this conference, but Dale loses 3.
Loss on the play, second down.
So many good tight games in the WCAL. We're not expecting one team to run away from the other, but SI, it's still very early, but they don't want this game to get away from them as they've run it again, and again the Serra defense collapsing in the middle to prevent much of a gain.
This Serra defense is so unique as, you know, they have all these different kinds of players. They have the D-line. Their D-line has been phenomenal this season, as well as the linebackers. You know, even the corners have been doing great this season. And without Hamilton, you know, they found some more free safeties, as I know Newbeck was actually a free safety.
And that is the end of the first quarter with the score of 14-0 Padres. We'll take a break on the audio side. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com.
Don't forget, Servant of Two Masters, the Tri-School production, closes tonight. Last chance to see it, 7:30 in the Keller Auditorium. TriSchoolProductions.com is where you go for tickets, or you can buy them at the door. Tri-School Productions versus Notre Dame and Serra presents Servant of Two Masters.
Pat O'Rourke with you here on BayPreps.com as it is 14-0 Serra. We go to the second quarter, and I am joined by student broadcaster here at Serra, Robert Dieters, as the Padres scoring on their first 2 possessions, a 7-play, 59-yard drive, capped off by a 33-yard touchdown run from Angelo Arco, and then Cabot Cassidy scored from 4 yards out, capping an 88-yard drive. SI on their third possession. They're facing a 3rd and 12 to start the second quarter. Looking to throw is Stin. He is rushed, his pass, again in and out of the arms of Vollard. Vollard, the leading receiver in the WCAL. And he has dropped 2 very good passes from Stin, who has now thrown 5 consecutive incompletions.
You don't notice that from an offense as Vollard, as you said, yeah, the leading wide receiver in the WCAL. You have to hold on to the ball to make your QB known and feel good. But so far the QB is, as you said, has not done very well today.
Well, it's a tough drop considering especially where they are in the field. They're at their own 8-yard line, and now they're going to have to punt for a 3rd time. Even if you don't get anything in this drive, a catch there where you get 20 yards and you get a first down, it allows you at least to do a little bit better in the field position game, which SI is losing right now. And now SI a little bit late getting some players on the field. And the punt is away. And it's going to be returned by Aesop Winston, who you mentioned before. He runs over the left side in front of the SI bench. He's taken down inside the 35-yard line. So Serra will get their best field position as they'll start at the SI 35-yard line. And now it's up to the Wildcats defense to make a stop here and make sure this game doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, you don't want this game, you know, because SI still has to stay in it. This is for second place, and they have to fight back. Here, their defense has to fight the offense right now.
Well, SI too, you know, in terms of with Midi looming next week, that's their final opponent. It's possible they could finish as low as 4th in this conference. And just last week we were talking about their chances of winning the league with the win against Bellarmine. Though Serra keeps the ball on the ground here, and somehow staying on his feet is Malapei. And Malapei takes it all the way down to the 20-yard line, a gain of 15 yards. Serra known for the yards after contact, and we just saw it there from the big guy, Malapei, who goes 5'10", 215 pounds.
Good job for the running game once again, as Serra is known for their running game. They have a ton of running backs. Even Ian McGuire runs a little bit as well.
That's the 5th ball carrier to run the ball in this one for Serra. They've got 1st and 10. And this is Arco, who's great on the cutback, but SI ready for that cutback. And he is brought down by August Peters, a 6'1", 232-pound senior. Arco loses a couple of yards. Arco scored the first touchdown this game for Serra. It's 2nd down and 12.
Loss on the play at 2nd down.
Pat O'Rourke with you here at Freitas Field in San Mateo. A beautiful day. And Serra looks to go to 8-1 and 5-1 in league. Man goes in motion. They'll keep it on the ground, and Redwood is met and taken down. Excellent job, penetration up the middle from the Wildcats. And Noah Bull, outstanding linebacker, 6', 210-pound senior, real leader for this SI team. Leading tackler in the conference last year as a junior. But someone that every team in the WCAL is well aware of. When they watch the film, he will stand out, and it's 3rd down and 13 after that loss by Redwood. And here is Kazakov on play action, trying to set up a screen to Redwood, and Redwood is taken down shy of the 1st down. His 2nd reception from Kazakov. And it's going to be 4th and about 6 for a first.
And it's 4th down.
Looks like Toms is going out there for the field goal.
Toms, a very good kicker. Kicked a 41-yarder last week against Valley Christian, and that's huge when you win a game 38-35. He made all 5 of his extra points as well. And he'll be kicking from the far left hash. And this is going to be a 34-yarder. The hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. He nails it. We'll call it actually a 33-yarder for Toms, and Serra leads 17-0. And for Toms, that is his 4th field goal of the season.
Tom's a very good kicker, as we said a lot so far, is that 41-yard field goal really tells you how good of a kicker he is.
It's a possession that goes 4 plays, 13 yards, and it took 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And it's all Serra with 9:07 to go in the 2nd quarter. And they capitalize on the short field. They don't get much yards, but they get points out of it. And it's a 3-score game. It's the only game in the WCAL going on today. 3 games played last night. We told you Bellarmine beat Valley Christian 38-35. Midi was a winner over St. Francis, 35-21. Midi still a shot to finish in 3rd place in this league as they play SI next week. St. Francis will be playing Serra next week, and we'll have that one for you again here on BayPreps.com. And Sacred Heart Cathedral is a 35-14 winner over Reardon. Here is Toms. Waters will return from the 5. His first chance, real chance at a kickoff return. And this time he is taken down right as he gets to 20, maybe even a little bit shy of getting to the 20-yard line.
Along with Jason Lauer
in on the stop for Serra. So again, SI, poor field position. They've started their 20 twice, their 11 once, and now they start at the 19. And an offense that has really struggled to move the ball. They have just one first down. And Elijah Dale, it's 2 carries for -2 yards. Stinn throws to his right, and Vollert makes the reception and picks up 7. Of course, Vollert had those drops. And Stinn is now 2 of 9 for 26 yards. Vollert, the leading receiver by far in this conference, coming in this game. And now the Wildcat, Dale gets the snap, and then he drops it and has to fall back on top of it, and he'll lose a couple of yards. Serra saying they came up with it, but it is SI ball.
Indication recovered by SI.
But just a real disastrous start for SI's offense. This is their 4th possession, and they're facing a 3rd down and 5. SI ranked 5th in the Bay Area. We told you in our Bay Preps poll, and in the Chronicle they are 7th and Serra is 3rd. In the Mercury News, SI is 5th and Serra is 3rd. In the NorCal rankings from Joe Davidson at Max Preps, SI is 19th in Northern California, and Serra is ranked 6th coming into this game. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Stinn, after a long count, already moving out of the pocket, steps up into his throw, and it's incomplete, intended for Waters. And again, a good job done by the Serra secondary. In on the coverage was Josh Cordova.
As the offense just haven't been on their game today.
Yeah, and that's now 2 of 10 passing from Stinn. And Serra's been able to get to him a few times, and we see him there moving out of the pocket. Even though there wasn't even that much of a rush coming there, but thinking about those footsteps from the Padres. So SI will punt for a 4th time. Here's the punt by Lane. And it's going to be returned. Running to his right is Aesop Winston. He does not get much of a return as the SI special teams do a good job, but still it's good field position once again for Serra as they'll start at their own 43.
Serra hoping for another good drive to maybe secure some more points here for the Padres.
Well, they have already scored on their first 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. As Arco goes in motion, but this is Redwood, and Redwood picks up a couple. If you're just joining us, Redwood's already over 100 yards in this game. He hasn't scored a touchdown, but he's got 104 yards on 10 carries.
Aramoto on the stop, 2nd down.
Second down and 8 yards to go. SI defense did pretty well last time when Serra started inside their territory. Here's Redwood again. Noah Bull again in on the stop. And we're going to see a 3rd and 5 coming up for the Padres. Beautiful day. Can't ask for much better weather. It's why you got to like these Saturday afternoon games here at Serra. Once a year they'll bring the lights in, but mostly these Saturday afternoon games, and we'll have another one for you next week here on Bay Preps when they take on St. Francis. 3rd down and 5. Actually 4 from the 49 is what we'll call it. And we've got a timeout called by Serra. So the first timeout of this game comes with 6:21 to go in the first half, and Serra is up 17-0. They'll talk things over with Coach Walsh, who has been here at Serra for some time. He's a guy that was just an outstanding player at De La Salle. He was a 1992 California High School Player of the Year at De La Salle. Just the best high school player I ever saw watching. But in his 12th season as a head coach As we're talking to Robert Dieters, a student broadcaster here at Serra, helping us out today. I imagine he's pretty popular with his players.
Yes, he is, and he's a great coach. He makes great decisions at the right times. And, you know, even though they didn't beat Bellarmine because of that 1 2-point conversion, everyone supported him. We only have one loss this season. He's been a great coach, and even outside the WCAL, we're undefeated. And that's been a pretty good goal. I think this has been a much better team than last year's.
Oh, no, we have a scare here. An older lady passed out. We have a scare in the stands.
Keep her in her prayers right now. Hopefully she's all right, Pat.
It's 3rd down and 4 as we get back to the game. Obviously not as important after we see that. Hopefully she is okay. As the handoff goes to Arco, and Arco runs over the right side, and he gets to the SI 40-yard line, and that, of course, is a first down, a gain of 11 for Arco, who's up to 49 yards rushing.
Number 45, Danny O'Malley, first down, Padres in SI territory.
Obviously, they tried to take her to a shaded area.
And we welcome Cal High Sports today as they are here as well.
It's 6 minutes to go in the first half, 17-0 the score. As the handoff goes to Cassidy, who ran for that second touchdown, and Cassidy gets good yards on first down. He'll pick up about 7. And we were talking before about Coach Walsh. In his 12th season, he's won 85 games here at Serra. 85, 47, and 1 is his record. And he's already the second winningest coach in Padre history in this storied program. And he needs 18 wins to become the all-time winningest coach in Padre history, as Jesse Freitas is the one who holds that record. 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Serra running the ball at will against SI, and they have that 17-0 advantage. And they get another first down here, taking it down to the 25-yard line. Fia Malapei, another good run. He picks up 8 more, and Malapei, 121 rushing yards in the first 8 games coming into today, already has 24 this afternoon.
Good job with the running game today, as you know, you see a lot more running from this team. You haven't seen a lot of passing because they're not really known for that, just more of the rushing.
Well, last year, this team, when they won the CCS Division I championship, they ran for more yards than any other Padre team in history. Ran for 4,572 yards last season, which is a remarkable number, as Arco runs off the right side, and he's taken down by Ford. And the CCS title they won a year ago was their first since 1992. They also set a Serra record for most wins in the season. As they won 11 games and lost 2. 4:20 to go here in the first half. After that Arco 3-yard run, it's 2nd down and 7. Arco already up to 52 yards and 5 carries, a guy that's emerging more and more each week. Short gain for Cassidy. He'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Serra scored first with 6:19 to go in the first quarter, a 33-yard touchdown run by Arco. Cassidy scored from 4 yards out with 1:18 to go in the opening quarter to make it 14-0. And then a 33-yard field goal by Toms. Anthony Toms made it 17-0 with 9:07 to go in the first half. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. 3:33 to play in the half. Obviously a lot of time for Serra to get in the end zone. But they got to get the first down first, and a hard count by Kazakov. Looks like it did just that. This would be the first penalty of the game against SI. And I believe it would be enough for a first. So the hard count works to perfection. And they'll move the chains for the Padre offense. 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 15. Here's Redwood Redwood turns it upfield. He's inside the 10, and he's taken down at the 5, and it looks to be another Serra first down.
Good fake there, as some players thought Zach Kazakov was running that one.
And that's one thing this double wing offense that Serra will do with some of their deception. We'll call it a gain of 11, and Redwood's now at 119 yards. It's first and goal. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. All Serra thus far. Quick moving first half. Here's the pitch to Arco. Arco trying to follow his blocks, but he'll pick up a minimal gain. You've got to be unselfish if you're going to play for Coach Walsh here at Serra, and they will distribute those carries. And just because they're close to the goal line doesn't mean that it's going to be Redwood getting the carry. And Redwood really is okay with that. You talk about the unselfishness. Redwood, where he stands with 1,082 yards coming into today, he could have easily have a lot more, but he only had 15 yards on 2 carries in the win against Reardon. Just because they were up by so many points, they didn't need him to run the ball that much. It's second down and goal from the 4-yard line. And this is Kazakov, the fake. He'll take it in himself. The 4-yard touchdown run to make it 23-0. It is all Serra with 2:04 to play in the half.
As Serra, their offense has done great, but the defense, wow, has just been phenomenal the whole game and stopping SI.
Well, that's something that certainly has set the tone, cannot be forgotten. As easy as Serra's been able to move the football, their defense has definitely stepped up. And here's the extra point try by Toms to make it 24-0. Anthony Toms, 3 extra points. He's got a field goal. Serra's up 24-0 with 2:04 to go in the first half. That was a 57-yard drive that spanned 9 plays. And it took up 5 minutes and 26 seconds. Kazakov, the 4-yard touchdown run. So Arco, Cassidy, and Kazakov all have touchdowns. Redwood has a 119 rushing yards. And the first 20 minutes of this game could not go any better if you're a Padre fan.
Yeah, 3 different players already today for touchdowns. That's been also a factor, as Walsh doesn't like to always keep the same guy in, but great job as he tries to mix it up a little bit.
You add up the numbers, and it's 212 rushing yards in this first half for Serra, 225 yards overall. A season after they ran for 557 against SI. That's a really good SI team they're beating right now. We told you where these teams stand in all the rankings. Serra a definite favorite today, but no one quite expected this. The return from Joe Lane. And again, Serra's special teams. Domination in all 3 phases right now. SI again fails to get to the 20-yard line.
As the JV and freshman players are all coming out for the halftime show.
As you have said, it is Polynesian Day here at Freitas Field in San Mateo. Second to last home game of the year. They will be at home against St. Francis next week. SI starts their own 17. Jackson 2 of 10 passing. He has not been helped out by a couple of drops. The left-hander under pressure once again. He's going to try to run for it, and he'll step out of bounds after a few yards. But Serra's defense is swarming. Something we talked about with Coach Walsh. You're going to get bit in this conference a couple times no matter how good your defense is, but I'm sure they took it to heart, allowing 35 points in 2 of their last 3 games, albeit against very good offenses in Bellarmine and Valley Christian. And thus far, they are making a nice statement. It's second down and 7. Backs to each side of Stinn. And Stinn has no one to hand the ball off to. A broken play. He'll run and get taken out of bounds after a couple yards. So SI just completely out of sync. That was a broken play. And Stinn makes the most of it. And it's 3rd down and 4. Stinn's got 5 carries for 19 yards. SI still looking for a first down. They have 2 first downs in this game. On this, their 5th possession. And the pass is going to be incomplete. Again, he is looking for Waters, but a little bit behind Waters. And SI will have to punt for a 5th time. And with 1:42 to go in the half, and Serra still with a couple of timeouts, they're not, if their type of offense isn't necessarily one that's quick strike a lot, but we know the type of ball carriers they have. It's with 2 timeouts, and if they get the ball back, say with a little bit more than 1:30 left, they still have an opportunity to get on the board once again before halftime. Aesop Winston, again back to return for Serra. And the punt is away. And it's going to go out of bounds near the SI sideline. And Serra's going to get great field position with 1:37 to go in the half. And field position has been a difference. SI has started on average about their 16-yard line, whereas Serra has started inside SI territory once, and 3 other times they have started at their own 41 or better. And right now they're at their own 41. Already up 24-0. Kazakov looking to throw. And he is going to be taken down. So Kazakov nowhere to go. Noah Bull, the captain for SI, again in on the stop. And the clock will run. It's at 1:19 and counting after that 4-yard loss for Kazakov, who ran for a touchdown the last time the Padres had the football. Kazakov will not force it, and it's obviously better to take a sack than a turnover. He'll give the pitch to Arco running right, trying to evade one man. Arco stays on his feet. It's taken out of bounds at the 40, but he's unable to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and a 3rd down and 11's coming up with the clock stopped at 56 seconds.
Yeah, you said defense gets a good stop here. They might have another chance. They could get a touchdown before this quarter ends.
Yeah, I was saying that about Serra, but now with their offense at 3rd down and 11, looking bleak here. SI does have all 3 of their timeouts, but just 56 seconds left if they stop Serra here. Kazakov has a pocket. He wants to throw deep. He's got Cordova downfield. He makes the catch inside the 20. And the clock will stop with 49 seconds to go. Serra does still have a couple timeouts. Of course, they'll restart the clock after they move the chains. That was a 41-yard gain to Cordova. Kazakov's pass on the near sideline is caught, and I think Serra might use a timeout here. They will, as Cordova makes another catch. Very short gain.
Great Polynesian entertainment coming up at halftime.
Call it 3 yards.
You don't want to miss that.
The other one was a 42-yard gain to Cordova. Kazakov is 4 of 4 for 58 yards. And Serra, with 40 seconds to go, they still have 1 timeout left, and they're up 24-0. And with having that timeout in your back pocket obviously allows you to run the ball more. If you wish, it's not as much of a risk. And of course, if you get the first down, you can stop the clock once again. So won't be a surprise. Serra keeps the ball on the ground, but Kazakov not afraid to throw the ball. They don't throw it very often here at Serra, but he came into this game a 55% passer, 34 of 62, 454 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And today he is 4 of 4 for 58 yards. It's 2nd down and 7 from the 15. The pitch, it's actually a reverse, and this is Arco coming our way. Arco makes a move, stays on his feet, and is knocked out of bounds. He took a big shot from Matt Emery. Emery will be lurking from that safety position, and he is not afraid to lay some licks. And the clock is still going. They're going to say he was tackled inbounds, so Serra not using a timeout, and now we've got 16 seconds left. He was taken inbound, says the official. Here's a pass near sideline. It's caught by Cassidy. And Cassidy looking for the first down. I'm not sure he got it. The clock is still running. 2 seconds, 1, and now Serra will use up a timeout, their final timeout. So a little bit of confusion there for Serra. And I believe they might just have Toms kick a field goal with 1 second to go in the half. So you had the short game by Arco.
Serra's having, will have a good first half so far, as SI just needs to figure it out on the offensive side.
Yeah, SI is going to have a lot of work to do at halftime. John Regalia, a very good coach, very respected in this conference, and he's someone that's going to have his hands full at halftime here because his team has just been dominating all 3 phases. The only, you can say, positive for SI is they haven't turned the ball over, but they have punted it all 5 times they've had the ball. They have just 2 first downs, and Serra's moved the ball at will in the running game. And now they'll try to make it a 27-0 game with a Tom's field goal. He's already made one from 33 yards out. And this one is going to be from about 27 yards out. Obviously plenty of leg, and he boots it through. And that's the final play of the half. A 27-yard field goal for Toms. And Serra completely dominating first half here on Polynesian Day. With the score 27-0. And SI will try to regroup in the halftime locker room. We'll take a break on the audio side. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com. Back with you here on BayPreps.com. It is Polynesian Day as we are getting a look at all the festivities and everyone taking part. This isn't a half-hearted Polynesian Day as we are joined by Robert Dieters, who is a student broadcaster here at Serra, helping us out today. This is an all-out Polynesian Day. You're not going to do anything halfway in terms of it. We've got all the festivities here. We talked about the food before, and this halftime show has certainly been entertaining as well.
Yes, it has been, as JV and freshmen were out there. Some of the Polynesian ladies getting in there as well. And also you can see the Polynesian dancers in there.
And it's all coming on the heels of a dominating effort by the home team, the Serra Padres, in the first half. In the first 24 minutes, they lead this game 27-0, and just dominating in all three phases. They have outgained SI 275-43 in the first half. 214 yards in the ground for Serra, 61 through the air. SI has 17 yards rushing and 26 yards passing. It's been a very quick-moving first half. Each side has just one penalty. We haven't seen any turnovers. But Serra just dominating not quite the rushing effort they had a year ago when they played SI and when they ran for 557 yards, but still 214 yards in the first half is pretty darn good against a team that's 6-2 and regarded as one of the top 5 or 10 teams in the Bay Area. Eric Redwood has not scored a touchdown, but he's got 12 carries for 119 yards. Angel Arco's got 8 carries for 59 yards and a score. Fia Malapai's got 3 carries for 24 yards. Kava Cassidy has 3 carries for 13 yards and a touchdown. And Kazakov, the quarterback, has 4 carries for -1 yard, but he does have a touchdown. Kazakov is perfect passing, 5 of 5 for 61 yards. Redwood, 2 catches, 13 yards. Cordova, 2 catches, 45 yards. And Cassidy has 1 catch for 3 yards. Serra had 5 possessions in the first half, and they scored on every one of them. SI, meanwhile, obviously scoreless on all 5 of their possessions, and they punted all 5 times they had the football. And you talk about Elijah Dale, who entered this week as the leading rusher in the conference with 1,099 yards. Just 3 carries for Dale in the first half, 3 carries for -4 yards. Waters has 2 carries for 2 yards. They try to make Waters a factor in the passing game, but he has just 1 reception for 19 yards. Andrew Vollert has the other reception for 7 yards. Jack Stinn, just 2 of 11 passing the ball for 26 yards. He has been hurt by a couple of drops. He has ran the ball for 19 yards on 5 carries, has Stinn, but just completely dominated by the Serra defense, one that is looking to make a statement after allowing 35 points in 2 of their last 3 games, and they have certainly done that in this first half. They also played well in special teams. It's been a big difference in field position. SI has started at their own 20 twice. They started inside the 20 on 3 different times, and the 5 times they've had the ball, whereas Serra has started at their 41 twice, at their 43 once. They also started at the SI 35 once, and the one time Serra did not get good field position, they started at their 12, and after that they went on 88-yard drive. So Serra started the scoring for a 33-yard touchdown run by Arco with 6:19 to go in the first quarter, capping a 59-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Then Cassidy scored from 4 yards out, capping that 88-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 40 seconds. After a short field, they got a 33-yard field goal from Anthony Toms to make it 17-0 with 9:07 to go in the second quarter, capping a 2-minute, 36-second drive. Then Kazakov scored from 4 yards out to make it 24-0, a 9-play, 57-yard possession that took 5 minutes and 26 seconds, their longest possession in terms of time. And then right before halftime, Toms capping a 1-minute, 37-second possession, getting a 27-yard field goal to make it 27-0, and that's where we stand right now, and we'll see how SI regroups. We know they've got a lot of firepower in offense, and it's a much better team than what we've seen, but I'm curious how much they left on the table. In fact, that was even alluded to by Mitch Stevens from Max Preps and the San Francisco Chronicle on Twitter, wondering maybe if they left a lot of gas is out of the tank after that loss to Bellarmine last week. And they certainly, and of course we saw it when Serra played Bellarmine. They played Sacred Heart Cathedral the next week, and that was a 7-7 game at the half. You saw that game, right, in terms of that Serra did not come out strong that week after such an emotional game against Bellarmine the week before, and obviously a really good Bellarmine team. Maybe that takes something out of you the next week. Not to take anything away from what Serra's done in the first half. They played great, but SI has definitely been flat.
Yeah, and, I think after every team has a loss, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be hard to fight back after a tough loss, especially when Serra lost to 1 point. And, this team fought back pretty hard. It was 7-7. Me and my partner, Kevin, were really surprised this happened. But when they came back in the second half, they felt strong, and they bounced back.
Yeah, and that's something that, they've had a strong second half, and they ended up winning that game against Sacred Heart Cathedral 34-7. And we'll see if SI can play much better here in the final 24 minutes, but they've got a long hill to climb to get back into this game against the Padres, as they have once again dominated. 275 yards for Serra compared to 43 for the Wildcats. And Serra will also get the ball first to start this second half. So SI's defense, which has seen a few wounds open up in the second half, and they'll have a lot on their shoulders here to try to stop Serra. And we're going to find out a lot about this game. Obviously, no one's going to pick SI at this point to win this game, but we're going to find out what kind of second half maybe we're going to get here based on this opening possession from Serra. If they're able to march down the field once again like they were able to do in the first half, we're not too far away from a running clock. So, but if SI can come up with a stop on defense, that maybe will give them a little bit of a lift.
As the punt here for SI.
Yeah, it's a suing kickoff, a little pooch kick return from the 25-yard line, and it's returned by Jordan Hagi. Hagi takes it close to the 35-yard line. So Serra has had solid field position. This is their second worst field position of the day, yet they're still starting at their own 35, which isn't too bad with 11:53 to go in the third quarter.
Not bad at all, as Serra, they just been getting great field position all day.
So the third quarter is underway. Kazakov under center. He completed all 5 of his passes in the first half. And he'll give the handoff here for a few yards to Redwood. Redwood, a 4-touchdown game last week against Valley Christian. He ran for 151 yards, and he's just one of those guys. As you'll see a lot of great players in high school, he will step his game up even more the bigger the game.
And after the Eric Wilson of last year and him moving on to Washington, Eric Wilson's actually a second-string guy.
Yeah, and he's actually on the sidelines today for Serra as Washington won at Cal last night. Here's Redwood finding a hole as he runs over the left side and comes up a yard shy of the first, but there is a flag down, and there's also looked like a hurt SI player. And a couple Serra players trying to help him up as August Peters, a really good player, is going to limp off the sideline. We talked about the injury to Hamilton Anawahi, and this is a hold, by the way, against Serra, their second penalty of the game. But SI lost a critical player last week in Stefan Ostrowski. Very good fullback for him, a guy that's a backup quarterback, and he got hurt, I believe, in the first play of that game last week against Bellarmine. That took a little bit of out of their sails. And so he's most likely done for the year as a penalty. It's second down and 15 yards to go after that penalty. As Kazakov is rushed, and he tries to get away from a man. He does, and now he's just going to throw it out of bounds. Doing what a smart player should do. A senior at 6'1", 165 pounds. Doesn't want to turn the ball over and doesn't want to take a big loss. So third down and 15 coming up. So SI a chance for a stop here out of the locker room. Jerry Gerard, the cameraman and producer. Pat O'Rourke with you along with Robert Dieters as the pass is intercepted by the Wildcats. And running down the near sideline is Charlie Ford. He's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown SI. And their bench gets a huge lift from the interception by Charlie Ford, and SI, that's the type of play they needed.
Maybe this will start up something for SI, and as well as they scored no points in the first half, looking for something in the second half.
And I believe that was about a 34-yard interception return for Charlie Ford, 6'2", 285-pound senior. Just as I said, we'll find out a lot about the Wildcats at the start of this second half, particularly that defense. It's the first time Serra does not score any points on a possession, and in fact it leads to points the other way as the extra point try is booted through by Michael Capitolo to make it 27-7. So with 10:41 to go in the third quarter, the interception returned by Ford, and we've got a new game. Serra still comfortably in front, but it's a much different game than we thought moments ago.
And they were almost about to stop the Padres there on the 3rd and 15 as well, and great job by the defense getting that huge interception for the touchdown. This is what they need right now.
No question about it. It's 27-7, and now we'll see if they can do it again. They don't necessarily need to get points as their defense, but a 3-and-out, and their momentum is going to pick up even more. Saw their bench and their sidelines after that interception return for a touchdown. They were fired up. But it's still going to come down to making stops against a Serra team that has scored 30 or more points in every game this year, and obviously on their way to doing that today. SI, meanwhile, has averaged 32 points per game coming into today. And here is Capitolo with the kickoff, and it's going to be a little pooch kick. Return from the 29. And Serra will start the 37, returned by Matt Jacobs.
See what this offense could do on this drive. You know, if they do get another touchdown here, this will be an interesting game between SI and Serra.
Serra leads the all-time series 29-16-1 against SI. They first met in 1955, a 33-12 Wildcats win, but then they didn't meet again until 1967. Serra's won 6 straight meetings heading into today, including the 49-28 game we talked about from last year. Here's Arco. And Arco is tackled in the open field after a couple of yards. And again, it is Matt Emery shooting up from his safety position to make the stop. Things have gotten quiet here on the Serra half of the field. After this inauspicious start to the second half, it was 27-0 Padres to the break. And SI defensive touchdown, now a 2nd down and 9. The pitch to Redwood.
Redwood carrying the football for the Padres.
Redwood gets a few. He's now up to 125 yards on the afternoon on 14 carries. After Severson's big night last night, he came into this game as the 3rd leading rusher in the WCAL. And he was 291 yards behind Severson of Valley Christian. And as it stands right now, he's 166 yards behind the Warriors running back. It's 3rd down and 5. Kazakov fakes a pitch one way, hands it off the other, and Arco is stopped at the line of scrimmage. And a great job by the SI defense forcing a 3-and-out.
SI, you know, they've been stopping the running game pretty well, actually, I've noticed a lot.
Arco has had not much room to run the last several carries he's had, and we're going to get a look at Anthony Toms as a punter for the first time. He's kicked 3 extra points and 2 field goals, but now his first punt with 8:55 to go in the third quarter. If you know of anybody that has quit on this game and aren't watching anymore, it's SI. He's trying to get back in this thing. You might want to send him a text, let him know that the Wildcats are trying to get back in this game. They can get within 2 touchdowns if they can get a score. Here's the return by Joe Lane. Lane loses the football. And it's kicked around, and the Wildcats fall on it. That was laying on the turf for some time, and that would have been disastrous for SI, who was just getting back into this game. They still lose some yards on that fumble.
And the Padres almost had that one as did see one player almost have it in his hands, but just got kicked around.
So with 8:27 to go, we'll get a look at the SI offense that put together just 43 yards of offense in the first half. And that field position game, dominated by Serra. This is the best field position SI has had all day, and they start just outside their 25. So Stin with a 4-receiver set, 2 of 11 passing in the first half. Left-hander looking across the middle. It's deflected and incomplete before it could get to his intended target, Joe Lang.
Tipped by number 33, Peter Tuipulotu.
Tuipulotu, so you can hear our outstanding PA announcer announce it, getting a piece of that at the line of scrimmage. And it's second down. Here's a pass across the middle, and it's caught by Vollert, his second reception of the day, the leading receiver in the WCAL. Coming into today has had a few drops. Had 104 yards receiving last week against Bellarmine. He picks up 9, and it's 3rd and 1 from the 35. And now the Wildcat, it's going to be a pitch directly to Elijah Dale, and Dale picks up positive yardage. After being held to just -4 yards in the first half, he picks up 3. And that's just the 3rd first down of the game for St. Ignatius. Using a hurry-up offense here with 7:30 to go in the 3rd. No one picks up Malapei, but SI setting up a screen to Dale, who's got room to run. Dale inside Serra territory.
Spin complete to Dale.
Takes it all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Taken into Padre territory.
It's a 22-yard gain to Dale. SI trying to get within 2 touchdowns. Here is Stin. A lot of time to throw. Steps up in the pocket, looking deep, diving, and unable to make the catch is Lang.
Almost had that one.
Good throw there by Stin, and I like what he did there. He had that pocket to work with. He stepped into that throw, but Lang could not get to it. And it's second down.
So SI's been pushing the ball this drive.
Yeah, they're showing some signs of life right now. Second down and 10 coming up from the Serra 40-yard line. It's just the second time they've been inside Serra territory. Their only touchdown was just scored a minute and 19 seconds into this half on an interception return for a score by Charlie Ford. 3 receivers split wide to Stin's left. He's got one to his right. That's his main man, Vollert, to his right, and he's looking that direction. His pass is high, but caught by Vollert right in front of the SI bench. Looks to be a little shy of a first down.
Taken out of bounds by Justin Reyes, number 24.
It's going to be 3rd and 3 after that 7-yard completion.
The result of the play brings up a 3rd down. It's 3rd and 3.
Those two hooked up for 2 touchdown passes last week against the Bells, a 35-28 loss for SI. They had won 6 in a row before that loss last week. From the Serra 33. And it's going to be Lane at the quarterback position instead of Stin, and he takes a snap and runs ahead and comes up a yard shy of a first. So it's 4th and 1. With 6:38 to go in the 3rd quarter, a lot of time left in this game, but Serra and get that momentum we've talked about back in their favor of a stop, as it's actually 4th down and 2 yards to go. And it's Stinn under center with the I backfield. Dale lining up as a fullback, and it's Stinn who just takes the snap and runs straight ahead for the first.
Smart play here for SI as they get the first down here.
Quick snap to Stinn. Yep.
SI, all they need here is a touchdown here to come back into this one.
1st down and 10. They move the chains, and SI using that hurry-up offense. Stinn now operating out of the gun. He's got 23 yards rushing after that 1st down carry, and now he's looking to throw. Stays on his feet, avoids an ankle tackle, runs down the near sideline, and he's forced out of bounds in front of the Serra bench as Mark Celentano makes the stop. But Stinn picks up 3. And Stinn can be a threat with his legs, and may have to be for SI to come back in this game. 2nd down and 7 yards to go, as the Serra secondary has done a very good job today against the St. Ignatius passing game. The secondary, of course, and when you stop a passing game, also you need help from your defensive line, which has been able to get pressure on Stinn. 2nd and 7. Stinn steps up. Still stays on his feet. Throws far sideline. Vollert finds his way open, breaks a tackle down the far sideline. He takes it inside the 10. And Stinn bought a lot of time there.
First and goal, SI.
Able to stay on his feet and then find Vollert, who ran all over the field trying to get open. As Serra did a great job defense in the secondary, but they just couldn't get to the quarterback. And that's a 16-yard gain.
And Andrew Vollert breaking some very good tackles.
Again, 2 receivers each side on 1st and goal from the 9. Stinn runs left. Stinn tries to get away from Malapaya and gets it to about the 5.
Stinn taking out by number 40, Malapaya.
Pat O'Rourke with you, along with Robert Dieters, student broadcaster here at Serra, doing the game with us today. Jerry Gerard, the cameraman. It's 2nd down and goal after that 5-yard gain. SI trying to get within 2 touchdowns. 4:50 to go in the 3rd. And it's a snap directly to Elijah Dale, who tries to hurdle over his blockers, but it's an odd place to leap from, as he leaped from about the 5-yard line, and he gets down to the 2 or 3. It's going to be 3rd down and goal.
Saw him kind of get stuck between 2 of the linemen.
It's been a rough day for Dale. 5 carries for 1 yard. 3rd down and goal from the 3. The carry goes to Dale, looking for the end zone. No signal from the official, and it looks like he's going to be stopped just shy.
Short of the goal line, 4th down.
So it's 4th and goal from inside the 1. Actually, as you see that spot of the football, it's more like the 2-yard line. Thought Dale got a little bit closer there. Not a great spot. And now we've got a timeout on the field called by SI. First timeout of the 2nd half.
35 remaining in the 3rd. Just a reminder, there are fans at home who are watching this game live on BayPreps.com.
So we got a timeout on the field, and a big moment in this game with SI a chance to get within 2 touchdowns after trailing by 27-0 at the break.
Imagine if they don't get this one. This is pretty tough with 2 yards, and you got to fight for it.
Young journalists in the Bay Area while providing comprehensive high school sports coverage. Check out that website, prep2prep.com.
And it looks like I'm trying to get a good look at the spot of that football, but it's trying to get exactly how far they need to go As we zoom in, Jerry Gerard, our cameraman there, it looks like it's about a yard and a half from the end zone. But, yeah, that's not easy. And we'll see if SI gets creative here to try to get in the end zone with 3:35 to go in the third quarter. A very big moment in this game. The interception return for a touchdown by Charlie Ford got SI on the board, and after a 3-and-out by Serra, SI's got the ball back. They started this possession at their own 26, and this has been their best possession of the day. They had just 43 yards in the first half. They have more than that on this possession, but can they cash in? Fourth and about a yard and a half for the end zone for Jack Stinn, who gives the pitch to Albert Waters. Waters looking for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Indication touchdown before the fumble.
So Waters scores, and SI gets the much-needed 6 points, and they cash in on a 74-yard drive. Unofficially 12 plays, 74 yards. It took 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Waters gets credit for the 2-yard touchdown run. And the extra point try by Capitolo is good. 27-14 SI back in this game with 3:28 to go. We'll take a break on the audio side. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com.
Padre fans, if you go to www.serrasports.smugmug.com, you can download all the great pictures being taken by Liz and Chuck, our Padre football photographers. That's serrasports.smugmug.com. The pictures are free. Redwood, Arco, deep for the Padres. Setting the ball.
So Serra will get the ball back. Their offense has struggled to start this second half. After scoring in all 5 of their possessions in the first half. See if SI can force them to some poor field position for once as Arco returns from the 5. Arco past the 20, stays on his feet, and then gets hit at the 26-yard line. Still a lot of time to go, 3:20 left in the third quarter.
16-yard return gives the Padres a first down.
Serra outgained SI 275-43 in the first half, leading 27-0, but an interception return by Charlie Ford of about 34 yards to make it 27-7, and then the 74-yard drive and capping on a 4th down and goal. Albert Waters runs it in from 2 yards out to make it 27-14. They'll keep it on the ground with Redwood. Why not when the opposition's getting back into the game? Give it to your best back, and Eric Redwood will fight for yards, and he picks up 8 on first down.
Eric Redwood fighting for yards here is this offense needs to come back as what they were in the first half.
He's got 1,215 yards on the season now after that carry, and he ran for 1,344 a year ago as a junior, 12 touchdowns. Sure, he's going to be a major factor before this one is over as Serra tries to finish off the Wildcats. A handoff to Cassidy, who's had a nice day. Cassidy gets the first down as he picks up 4. Cassidy scored 1 of the Padres' touchdowns. It was Arco scoring first with 6:19 to go in the first quarter, a 33-yard run, and then Cassidy scored from 4 yards out to make it 14-0 with 1:18 to go in that first quarter. Toms kicked a 33-yard field goal in the second quarter. Kazakov ran one in from 4 yards out with 2:04 to go in the half. And then Toms kicked a 27-yard field goal with no time left in the first half. And Serra took that 27-0 lead into the break. And now it's 27-14 with 2:12 to go in the third. The handoff over the left side to Faita, his first carry of the game. And he's taken down by Ford after about 3. First carry of the game for Faita, who came into this game with 71 rushing yards on the year. We've yet to see the guy that Robert was talking about earlier, Kevin McGee, who's having a nice season, a junior, has not carried the football yet. He has 214 yards coming into this game, the third leading rusher for Serra on the season, as Cassidy gets a pitch, and he's got a hole to run through. He's inside SI territory, and he's taken down inside the 35. And he picks up 24 yards.
O'Malley on the stop after the 26-yard pickup. First down, Padres.
So Serra is going to lose something next year, obviously, if Redwood, just like they lost something with Redwood with Wilson, but they can reload with guys like Cassidy and McGee as the handoff goes to Redwood, and Redwood takes it right behind the center and gets about 6.
Wrapped up by number 46, Scott Serrano.
These two teams are going to be hoping for open division titles. Of course, they still have some work to do to get there, but Serra looking very good with a win today. And it's even possible if SI, even if SI loses this game and they, say, beat Midi next week, where they could play in the open division as well, and it's possible we could see these teams meet again in 3 weeks in the CCS semifinals. Long way to go for that as it's second down and 4. The handoff to Redwood running left. He's got room to run. Redwood inside the 20. Redwood forced out of bounds inside the 10.
Redwood.
And Serra starting to move the ball after struggling on their first 2 possessions of this second half.
First and goal, Padres.
Redwood just picked up 21 more, giving them 160 on the afternoon. This could be the final play of the quarter. First and goal from the 8. This is Kazakov keeping it himself. Tries to spin away from an arm tackle, and he falls forward a yard shy of the first. Kazakov has ran for a score, and that looks like it will be the final play of the third quarter. So Serra up 13. They were outscored 14-0 in the third quarter, but they are knocking on the door as we start the fourth. It's 27-14 Padres. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com.
Football fans, as we head into the fourth quarter, let's ask all fans, Wildcats and Padres, come together, show your appreciation to these young men.
Call Michael Mowry, your home loan purchase and loan finance expert, at 925-967-3055. Let Michael Mowry at CNA Equity be your bridge, your most profitable equity partners. Michael Mowry at CNA Equity, an SI grad from 1994. Also, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria, the place to go. Some of the best food you'll find in the Bay Area at Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria on the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio, and in Walnut Creek, the place to go after the game, open late. They have a full bar, all sorts of TVs to watch football. Longtime supporter of high school sports, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. It's third and goal for Serra from the 1-yard line as we start the fourth quarter. The Padres are up by 13. They were up 27-0 at the half. And it's going to go up the middle. And a touchdown for Fia Malapayai. the short yardage back on his 4th carry of the game, scores from a yard out. And Serra is back up to a 3-touchdown lead. It's 33-14.
Good job for Serra here as they get their touchdown first of the half. They did not score all 3rd quarter, and it's looking good for Serra as they score here in the 4th when it's 33-14.
First play of the 4th quarter as Malapai scores and caps a 34-yard or a 74-yard touchdown drive. The extra point by Toms is good. So 7 plays, 74 yards, and it took 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And it's now 34-14 Padres. And they got their running game going after a little bit of a hiccup in their first couple possessions of the second half. They ran the ball down the field there, all of the 74 yards on the ground. No surprise for a Padres team that has ran for 295 yards on the afternoon. A team that has ran for over 300 yards in every one of their WCAL games coming into today.
And Pat, what does SI need to do here with the offense? Because, you know, they're struggling right now. They had a really good drive. Now you got to come back here with 34-14, the 4th quarter. Does the defense have to work harder, or does the offense have to work harder?
Well, the offense obviously going to have to put points on the board here, but you know, in terms of it's going to come down to whether their defense can stop Serra. And the fact is, the Padres have scored on 6 of their 8 possessions. And when you're down by 20 points to Serra in the 4th quarter, that's just a deficit nobody really comes back from with their running game and the way they've been able to run the ball today. It's just tough to imagine. So, yeah, you talk about them coming back. They're going to need some quick strikes from their offense, but they're also probably going to have to get some scores from the defense or special teams to come back in this game as the kickoff goes into the end zone for another touchback for Toms, his 3rd touchback of the day. And according to the stats, he had 5 touchbacks on the season coming into today. Serra looking very good, and it's, you know, we've talked about these rankings and where they are in our poll, that Harold Aben does in our rankings. He's got Serra 3rd and SI 5th. He's got Serra just behind De La Salle and Bellarmine as Jack Sten tries to set up a screen pass. It's caught by Lane in the flat, and Lane tripped up by the ankles as he picks up about 5. But Serra is also ranked 6th in Northern California in Joe Davidson's Max Preps poll, 3rd in the Chronicle Bay Area poll, Prep Feed CCS poll. They're 2nd. They're 6th in the Division I North Bowl rankings from Cal High Sports. A Stent's pass is batted down and incomplete, intended for Baller, and Josh Cordova continues his outstanding game. The Serra secondary has been everywhere today. But Serra's also ranked in the state in the Cal High Sports rankings. They're ranked 25th in the state entering today, and many expect, and including myself, although it's not going to be easy in the CCS Open Division, it never is, but many expect that Serra is going to play Bellarmine again for the CCS Open Division title. Padres have a long way to go to get there. They'll still got to finish off this game, and they've got a tough game against St. Francis next week. SI trying to get in the Open Division playoffs, and they may need to win that game next week against Mitty to get there. The pass across the middle is incomplete on 3rd down, intended for Lane. And SI is going to have to punt.
Take time here around the Padre Athletics as cross-country coach Willis McCarthy is retiring after 20 years here as assistant and 18 as head coach this year. What a great coach he's been. Joey Berry-Tua, his best runner he's ever had, and he's had a great year.
Yeah, he just won the WCAL number 3 race this week. And SI's got some very good cross-country runners as well, including Siren Murphy, a really good one. So It's a tough loss for Serra. The cross-country ranks, standing career as the punt is away. It bounces at the Serra 39. And it rolls a couple different ways, but will eventually stop at the 40-yard line with 11:14 to go. And now we'll see if the Padres can get a typical Padre drive going here where they eat up a lot of clock and finish it with a score. They have had touchdown drives of 59, 88, 57, 74 yards today. They also got a couple field goals as the carry goes to Redwood. Redwood, see, he'll take a big hit and he'll still manage to fall forward as he picks up 6. And he's now got 166 rushing yards on 18 carries. And he takes us inside 11 minutes to go. Pat O'Rourke with you. Robert Dieters, a Serra student broadcaster, helping us out today as well. And Jerry Gerard is handling the camera work as usual, as it is all Padres, who led just 27-0 at the half, although SI did outscore them 14-0 in the third quarter. Kazakov waiting for the play clock to tick down, takes the snap and hands off to Arco on this fly sweep. And Arco has little room to run, and there's also a penalty marker on the field. And it's going to go against Serra. Coach Walsh isn't going to be happy with that, if his team holding this big lead. It's only the 4th
White hat dude says the Padres were holding.
Penalty of the game. The 3rd on Serra. And they'll mark it back to the 35-yard line where it's 2nd and 15. Coach Walsh, as we mentioned before, the 2nd winningest coach in Serra history in his 12th season. 85 career wins coming into today. If he holds on to win today, he'll need just 17 more to become the all-time winningest coach. Kazakov tried to hand off to the back in front of him, and I believe that's a fumble, and SI has it. The 2nd turnover of the half for the Padres. As that broken play went wrong, Kazakov trying to hand off to the back in front of him. And that's exactly what SI needed, is turnovers. With 10:04 to go, down 3 touchdowns. They're still not out of this game as they'll take over at the Padre 30. Best field position of the day for SI.
No, SI just needs to get a touchdown here to stay within this game. And their defense needs to come back maybe after this drive.
Stinn with 4 receivers as Waters go in motion. Stinn has a pocket, wants to throw far left sideline, and it's incomplete. And Waters was thinking too much about the hit he was going to take from Nick Maka. And that's why he didn't catch that ball, because that was a perfectly thrown ball by Stinn, but Waters looked at the defender before getting that ball, and that's why it falls incomplete.
Almost Waters had that one, but when you think about too much of a hit, you hold on to the ball and secure it as much as you can. And it's going to be a drop pass, and it's going to be really unfortunate for SI, as that could have been a first down.
Well, they haven't helped Stinn out today with drop passes. He hasn't had a great day throwing the ball, just 7 of 21, but at least 4 drops from Wildcat players today. Screen pass out of the backfield. It's caught by Joe Lane. Lane trying to stay on his feet. He is fighting for yards. Nicely done by Lane, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 1. Well, we'll call it 3rd and 2.
3rd down.
As we have 9 minutes here and 35 seconds to go in this game.
Sun is coming right at us from the other side right now. It's 3rd down and 2. Just a great day here at Freitas Field in San Mateo for a WCAL game. I'm sure a lot of other WCAL players and coaches watching this one since everybody else played last night. 3rd down and 2. Stinn out of the gun. And the handoff goes up the middle to Dale. Elijah Dale's had a rough day, but he's got his most productive carry as he picks up 8 Dale just 7 carries for 11 yards.
First down, SI.
And it's 1st and 10 from the 14. Stinn looking right all the way. His pass incomplete, intended for Connor Holbert. But there is a flag down.
Official says we rep the passer.
Serra already called earlier in this game for a blow to the head on Jack Stinn, and now they're going to get a roughing the passer penalty. So that's how, I'm not saying SI is coming back and winning this game, but that's how you let teams back in when you have turnovers, and Serra's had 2 of them in the second half, and penalties. And a couple critical penalties here. They had that holding penalty, which happened just before the fumble, and now a roughing the passer penalty. Moves the ball to the 8-yard line. Inside the 8-yard line, it is 1st down and goal. Stinn, pass caught by Waters. Waters taken down as forward progress. We'll give him a gain of about 3.
First hit by number 24, Justin
His
Ray.
2nd reception of the day. They've tried to go to Waters a lot
Number 7, Nick Maka.
as a receiver
Josh Cordova.
today.
Taken out.
He has on the ground just 3 carries for 4 yards. It's 2nd down and goal from the 4. Stinn hands it off to Waters. Waters on the inside run.
Waters on the carry.
Picks up a couple, but it's a 4th down and goal coming up. Remember, SI scored their only offensive touchdown
Picked up by Maka, finished off by 2.
last quarter on a 2-yard run by Waters on 4th and goal from about 1.5 yards out. And now it's going to be 4th and goal. Actually, 3rd and goal, I should say, from the 3-yard line. Here's the pass and the fade. Vollert goes up and makes the reception for the touchdown.
Reception made by number 80.
You throw it up to your big 6'5" target, and he gets it. Vollert has caught a touchdown pass for 5 consecutive games now after that 2-yard catch. And SI not going away. They're within 14. And Capitolo trying to make it a 13-point game with 7:47 left. Good kickers on both sides. He is perfect, and it's 34-21 with 7:47 to go. Stinn to Vollert, the 2-yard touchdown pass. And SI doing a good job in this second half. A much better, different team from SI in this second half than what we saw in the first 24 minutes. That was a 6-play, 30-yard possession that took up 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Right now for SI, they really just got to stop Serra at this point, and you know they all seem in good shape. It's 34-28. You know this game's going to be tight at the end.
Well, you know, and Serra hasn't helped themselves with a few penalties and a couple turnovers here in the second half. And it's easy for maybe high school kids, I'm not sure if that's the case, to get maybe a little bit overconfident when you were so convincing in the first half. I mean, I'd be interested to know if Coach Walsh felt that was the best 24 minutes his team has played this year, the way they played in that first half, and not the same here in the second half. So still very much a ball game with 7:47 to go. SI obviously with that much time left doesn't have to go for an onside kick, but not going to be surprised if they do here. They tried one last week with about 4 minutes left against Bellarmine, down by 7, and they couldn't come up with it, and then Bellarmine ate up the rest of the clock, which is why that onside kick was the right thing to do for Coach Regalia's team. And right now he's thinking the same thing. We need to get the ball back here Don't want to give Serra a chance too many possessions to run off some clock with their excellent ground game. So they're going to try the onside kick, and it takes a big hop. The ball is recovered by Serra.
Onside kick recovered by the Padres.
Well, that was a perfect onside kick from Capitolo, who kicked one well last week, even though SI didn't recover it. And that one is what you want. It takes where you skip it along the ground and you get that last big hop so that your team can come up with it. But the Padres do a good job recovering it, and Serra has it at their own 48-yard line.
Zach Mitchell took a huge hit after that ball that he just took. And it's hard to keep a ball after you just get a huge hit.
Well, that's what we're talking like that play with Waters earlier. You know that hit is coming. You just got to grasp it and secure the ball. And here's Redwood making a great move. Redwood stays on his feet and finally steps out of bounds at the 39.
Among others, out of bounds by Joe Lang, number 5. First down, Padres.
And Serra, with the clock stopped at 7:36 to go, it's the only thing Redwood didn't do was stay in bounds on that play. But he still picks up 13.
Brings up a first down at the 39.
He's 21 yards away from 200 on the afternoon. More importantly, his team's trying to secure this game, up 13. This is Cassidy.
Cassidy, the ball carrier.
And he picks up 4. And like the other Serra backs, he is very good on that cutback. When he can take a carry one way and stop on a dime and turn it upfield. We've seen Redwood and Arco do that as well. It's 2nd down and 6.
He's also a really tall guy for being a sophomore.
And speaking of height, it's obviously not too far away from basketball season for some of these guys. Serra, very good basketball team a year ago. Team that lost to Midi in the CCS title game as Redwood gets the carry. And Redwood, again, it's not going to take one guy to bring him down. It's going to take about 3 or 4. And SI calls a timeout, their 2nd timeout of the half. So they've got 1 left with 6:43 to go. And a 3rd down coming up for Serra. It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
And if they do go for a field goal here, I mean, they're still going to be in good range with 37-21.
And that's the thing is I don't know if they don't get it here, if they would go for that field goal. I mean, Tom certainly has the leg. He kicked a 41-yarder last week against Valley Christian. You get stopped here, you're looking at about a 47-yarder, and he certainly, again, can kick it that far. But I'm sure Coach Walsh just wants to finish this game off and get a first down on this 3rd down and 3. Again, thanks to Michael Morey, your home loan purchase and loan finance expert. Call Michael Morey at 925-967-3055 at CNA Equity. Let Michael Morey at CNA Equity be your bridge to your most profitable equity partners. 3rd down and 3. Serra's been in control. They got the first score of the game on a 33-yard touchdown run by Arco. They led 14-0 after the first quarter, 27-0 at the half. It was 27-14 entering the 4th quarter, and right now, as you can see, it's 34-21. 6:43 to go. They need a stop on 3rd and 3. Actually calling it 3rd and 2. And it's going to be Redwood. And Redwood is going to be stopped shy.
Making the tackle, Jesse Donovan, number 40, Danny O'Malley, number 45.
So now we've got 4th down, and he might have even lost a yard on that run. It's going to be 4th and 3.
It looks like they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, it's 4th and 3. It's a really tough spot in the field to kick a field, plus you're up by 2 touchdowns. So Kazakov's going to wait for some play clock to tick off. Inside 6 minutes, Redwood goes in motion, and here's Redwood. And he's got the first down and more. And Redwood forced out of bounds by Emery, but he picks up the first. And he gets 9. And Redwood unofficially now at 191 yards rushing. And it may come down to him and Severson in that final week to see who gets the WCAL rushing title. Redwood still 100 yards behind the Valley Christian back, who had 277 last night. Redwood, though, concerned about winning games, and his team's about to go to 8-1 as Cassidy runs up the middle. And Cassidy, it's good yardage, and he takes it to the 20-yard line for about 3. When you talk about that Valley Christian team that lost to Bellarmine last night, 38-35, that's going to be a really good team next year, and they're already pretty good this year despite their 3-6 record, but they're very young, and they're a team that has just been snake bit by close losses. They have 4 of their losses in WCAL play have been by a touchdown or less, and they've played Serra and Bellarmine tougher than anybody in this conference this year. So they're going to be a threat in the CCS playoffs as well. I believe they'll be in Division III as Redwood gets the carry. And Redwood puts his helmet down and runs over Albert Waters and picks up a first down. They will move the chains as the clock stops with 4:59 to go to move those chains. And the Serra fans chanting, "You can't stop them." And I'm sure that's not the first time they have yelled that to an opponent this year. First down and 10 from the 12. Clock at 4:41 to go. Redwood looking for room to run. Bounces outside. Redwood in the end zone. The exclamation point for Eric Redwood and the Padres. Eric Redwood, I believe that was a 10-yard touchdown run. And the extra point try to make it a 20-point game from Toms. And he missed it. A rare extra point miss for Toms. So it stays 40-21, but Eric Redwood scores his first touchdown of the day. And he goes over the 200-yard mark. And Serra on their way to another convincing win over SI. They have won 6 straight in this series heading into today, and 5 of those 6 wins have been by double figures.
When you talk about Valley Christian losing a close game, Serra only beat them by 3, 38-35, and you know, Serra's been playing hard this year, especially with a 7-1 record and 4-1 in WCAL.
Yeah, there's a team that's going to move to probably 8-1 and 5-1 in WCAL with 4:33 to go. As Redwood caps a scoring drive that took 3 minutes and 2 seconds, a 52-yard drive. And here is the ensuing kickoff. This is Albert Waters. Waters has a little bit of a seam, and he's tracked down before he can get to the 30.
Chased down and tackled by number 40, PML.
Pat O'Rourke with you here on BayPreps.com. Robert Dieters, student broadcaster here at Serra, helping out as SI showed some life here in this second half after getting dominated in the first half, a 27-0 Serra lead at the break. And SI got within 27-14 and 34-21. But Serra in control. They outgained SI in the first half, 275-43, as they jumped out to that huge advantage. Jack Sten had a rough day throwing the ball, hasn't been helped out a few times. His pass here is caught by Connor Holbert. Holbert's first catch of the day.
Cordova, Valapei, making the stop. First down, SI.
Pick up 17 yards, does Holbert. Sten's over 100 yards passing. Sten has time to throw on a deep drop. His pass intended for Lane is incomplete. Sten started this game 1 for 8 and 2 for 12 passing the ball. And Serra just flat overall. Elijah Dale in the first half had just 3 carries for -4 yards. And Dale still with just 11 yards rushing in this game. His worst rushing game of the year. He's been bottled up a little bit the last 2 weeks as he was held to 49 yards last week against Bellarmine. That SI Midi game next week, though, should be a very good one. As Sten is flushed out to his left, up the near far sideline, and he steps out of bounds. Well shy of the first down. Sten's got 35 yards on the ground.
BayPreps.com reminds you that you can watch the archived version of this game. It'll be on BayPreps.com tonight, where you can also order a DVD.
3rd down and 5 yards to go for Sten and the Wildcats. Who look like they'll be playing for 3rd place next week when they take on Midi. The Monarchs have won 4 in a row. Sten. Pass dropped. Another drop by an SI receiver as Lane could not hold on.
It looks like he thought about it way too much, and he had it, and then he just dropped it.
Yeah, that's something that SI receivers have just seen that a few times where they are not seeing the ball all the way in, and they're thinking about the run after the catch, or they're thinking about the hit that's coming. But Sten's line is going to be ugly, and I'm not saying he's had a good game, but it's been better than this. And he's a tremendous athlete, is Jack Sten. Helped his team to a CCS baseball title in the spring where he hit .355. Cal Berkeley, Mundo's showing interest in him as a baseball player. The left-hander on 4th and 5. His pass, incomplete. Intended for Connor Holbert, but the SI secondary there again, and that was Josh Cordova again there on the coverage. What a job by the Serra secondary. When you talk about Cordova, Justin Reyes, Vince Camp, Nick Maka, they've had some help from a defensive line and linebacking crew that's been able to get pressure on Sten, but mostly it's been the secondary, from my vantage point, that has stepped up so huge for the Padres this afternoon. 3:54 to go. Serra will try to run out the remainder of this clock. We saw Bellarmine able to do that last week against SI when they ran out the remainder 3:59. Here's Redwood, a lot of room to run. Redwood, 1 man to beat. And so often it's Matt Emery who's got to have double-digit tackles today. It's been Emery, the last line of defense. And I believe there's a penalty. There is a penalty marker down that was upfield during that Redwood run.
Holding indicated against the Padres.
They'll mark it, of course, from the spot of the foul. I believe it gave Redwood 9 yards on that. The Padres avoided penalties in the first half, but they picked up their share here in the second half. It's going to be 1st down and 11. 3:45 left. We'll be back here next Saturday for the Serra St. Francis game. Kazakov trying to run down the play clock once again. He just looks to his sideline instead of back at the lines judge. And or the official in the back as Cassidy gets the carry. Cassidy picks up 7. He continues his nice afternoon. Cassidy's got 55 yards and a touchdown. Arco's got 60 yards and a touchdown. Malapai's got 25 yards and a score. Redwood has 218 yards and a touchdown. And Kazakov has 6 yards and a touchdown. Yep, you add it all up, 5 different players have ran in touchdowns for the Padres. 2nd down and 4. Redwood over the left side. Redwood taken down inside the 40 by Waters.
Number 2, Eric Redwood, taken by number 2.
So Redwood's up to 225 yards. And more importantly, he moves the chains. 2:34 to go. And the clock continues to run. SI has just 1 timeout remaining. So Redwood came into this game 291 yards back of the conference's rushing leader, Ryan Severson of Valley Christian. And now he's just 66 yards back of the outstanding Valley Christian runner. And now we've got a timeout by Serra with 2:14 to go. As Coach Walsh wants to make sure his team can run out the remainder of this clock, as they have made some kind of a statement this afternoon at Freitas Field. Serra on their way to beating SI for the 7th consecutive time. The last time SI beat Serra was in 2005, a 17-14 final. Overall, in the history between the schools, Serra is going to go to 30-16-1 against the Wildcats. And they're also on their way to winning their 3rd straight game after that tough overtime loss to Bellarmine.
Everyone has lost to Bellarmine this year.
Well, Bellarmine has kept it up for a few years now. They've won 14 consecutive games in the WCAL, and I'm trying to find an answer as to the last time a team's been able to win that many West Catholic League games in a row. It's been a long time. This conference, last year they were the first team to go undefeated in league play in 5 years. You just don't see teams go undefeated in league, and Bellarmine is on their way to doing that 2 years in a row. So, and I believe the last time a team's won this many games in league in a row has been at least a decade. So the handoff goes up the middle here to Kevin McGee, who we mentioned earlier. He gets his first carry.
Number 28, Kevin McGee.
So he picks up 7, the 7th different Padre to carry the football, and he takes us inside 2 minutes. Serra was hoping for a chance to get at Bellarmine when we get to the CCS Open Division. It very well could be the CCS Open Division final, and at least that's what most people are going to predict will happen. Here's McGee. He gets the first down and more. Stays on his feet. McGee pushed down shy of the end zone. No mark from the official. Now they're going to say touchdown. Well, it took him a while, but McGee scores. 31-yard touchdown run for McGee, and he becomes the 6th different Padre to score a rushing touchdown today. What a performance by Serra. 1:34 left. And some people are heading for the exits after that score. On Polynesian Day, they are celebrating in style here at Serra. Tom's, a rare miss on the extra point last time, boots this one through, and it's 47-21.
Serra, an outstanding performance today, 47-21 here. As SI, though, you know, you have to give them credit coming back from 0 and coming to 21.
Yeah, they're down 27-0, and they made it a 13-point game. And they were in this thing in the 3rd quarter down 13. But they did come out much better here in the second half than what we saw from the first half. That wasn't the typical SI team we saw in the first half of this game, but Serra with some answers. And again, they're doing it on the ground. Unofficially, I have him at 408 rushing yards. So they have ran for 300 or more yards in every game in the WCAL, which is very tough to do.
Yes, it is, Pat.
And over 400 yards today after running for a school record 557 in last year's 49-28 win against the Wildcats.
Waters laying deep.
So here is the kickoff by Toms, and it is going to go out of bounds, so that will be a penalty. Toms kind of angled it towards that corner throughout the day, and he's had some luck with it, but this time he's unable to keep it in bounds. Just 1:34 to go. Another possession for SI. It's been a huge struggle offensively for the Wildcats. They have two touchdowns on their 9 possessions. They have 1 defensive touchdown today.
Wildcats will take
They'll start at the 35.
35-yard line.
SI was held to just 43 yards of offense in the first half. Sten has thrown the ball 28 times today. Very little success. Here it's a shovel pass to Waters. Waters spins away from a man, stays on his feet, and is chopped down at the 48.
Newbeck takes him down. First down SI.
Third catch of the day for Waters.
48-yard line.
SI does have 1 timeout left. The clock's at 1:18 and counting. Pass complete to Waters again. Waters takes it inside the 40. And it takes 3 guys to bring him down as he's taken down at the 35-yard line.
Now the stop, number 22, Andrew Bowler.
So 17 more yards for Waters and Sten on that play. 56 seconds to go. Sten has a lot of time. He heaves it deep towards the end zone, and it's going to be pass interference. An easy call for the official as Mark Celentano was shielding Vollert there. Serra will take that 15-yard penalty, though, as Vollert was looking like he was going to make his second touchdown catch of the game. So a pass interference penalty with 50 seconds left. SI looking for their 4th touchdown of this second half.
It'll be a first down for SI.
So they'll mark it down to the 20-yard line. Very quick moving first half as Serra jumped out to that big lead. Things have slowed down here in the second half as SI has had to throw the ball a lot. They've ran it just 12 times to their running backs, 21 times overall thanks to Sten's 9 carries. Sten steps up, is hit, the ball is loose, and officials are going to call it an incomplete pass. That was very close to being a fumble. Sten's now 13 for 31 for 145 yards. SI has not turned the ball over today. Serra's turned it over twice. But other than that stat, the other numbers have really been dominated by the Padres. It's second down. Sten trying to set up another screen pass. It's caught by Dale. And Elijah Dale doing a good job staying on his feet. The clock continues to run. SI does have 1 timeout left.
No interesting fact here. I read a newspaper and the Chronicle. They said the Dons have more talent than the Padres.
In the Wildcats, as they want to throw towards the end zone here to Vollert. You're saying SI, it was said SI has more talent?
No, actually Aragon Dons.
Oh,
There's
Aragon.
a writer for Foster City. He was on the Chronicle. An interesting fact, he spelled Serra Padres wrong. He even said the Aragon Dons have more talent than the Serra Padres.
It's 4th down coming up for the Wildcats here with 9 seconds left. And the score 47-21. Pat O'Rourke with you here on BayPreps.com. Jerry Gerard handling the camera work, and Robert Dieters, a student broadcaster from Serra, helping us out today. 4-receiver set. As Stinn wants to throw. His pass across the middle is deflected and incomplete, intended for Vollert, but there's a couple flags that come down as the Padres again put a lick on Stinn, who's a little upset after taking another shot from Serra. That is, Padres have been called with a roughing the passer penalty. Oh, I think the official pointed wrong way there. He pointed roughing the passer against SI. Obviously, that's not the case, and he pointed a chop block against Serra. He was signaling as if this was offsetting penalties, and it is, so it's going to be 4th down again with 4.5 seconds left. It's still 4th and 8. And here is Stinn. Stinn flushed out to his left. Stinn wants to run. He's got the first down. Final play of the game. He's looking to get in the end zone. He's not going to get there. So that's how this one ends. 47-21. The Padres win on their home field on Polynesian Day. And we will take a break on the audio side as Serra comes out on top. We'll total up the stats and be back in a few moments. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com. Serra wins it by the final score of 47-21 as the Padres jumped out to a 27-0 lead at halftime. SI did have some momentum to start the second half, a 34-yard interception return for a touchdown by Charlie Ford, and then an Albert Waters 2-yard touchdown run, capping a 74-yard drive to make it 27-14 with 3:28 to go in the third quarter. Serra, though, would embark on a 7-play, 74-yard drive to make it 34-14. Fia Malapei running it in from a yard out to make it a 34-14 game. SI would capitalize on a short field and score a touchdown to make it 34-21 as Jack Stinn would find Andrew Vollert for a 2-yard touchdown reception with 7:47 to go in the fourth quarter. But the Padres had so many answers today, they would go on a 52-yard drive. Eric Redwood capping it off with his first touchdown of the day, a 10-yard run to make it 40-21. And the Padres would capitalize on one more touchdown run by Kevin McGee from 31 yards out. It was another dominating effort from Serra's running game, as they have done so often to WCAL opponents over the years. The totals in this one for yards, Serra had 474. 413 of those were on the ground. What a job by Serra. They have ran for 300 more yards in every WCAL game this year, and they run for 413 today. They had 61 passing yards, 474 yards total. SI finishes with 216 yards, 69 on the ground, and 147 passing. Individually for the Padres, Eric Redwood, unofficial numbers here, 26 carries, 225 yards, and the 1 touchdown. Angelo Arco had 10 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Kava Cassidy had 8 carries for 55 yards and a score. Kevin McGee, 2 carries, 38 yards and a touchdown. Fia Malapai, 4 carries, 25 yards and a touchdown. Zach Kazakov, 5 carries, 6 yards, and yes, a touchdown. And also 1 carry for 3 yards for Matt Faita. The Padres, when you add it all up, had 6 different players score rushing touchdowns today. Kazakov passing was 5 of 6, or actually 5 of 7 for 61 yards. He did have an interception. Receiving, Redwood, 2 catches, 13 yards. Josh Cordova, who played so well in the secondary, had 2 catches for 45 yards, and Cassidy had 1 catch for 3 yards. Serra did have 2 turnovers compared to none for SI, and Serra did have 7 penalties for 90 yards compared to 1 penalty for 5 yards for the Wildcats. As for SI's numbers, Jack Stinn had to throw the ball a lot today. He threw it 32 times. And he completed 14 of those 32 passes for 147 yards. He did throw for a touchdown. He was their leading rusher as well, 10 carries, 51 yards. Elijah Dale bottled up 7 carries, 11 yards. Albert Waters had 4 carries for 6 yards. And Joe Lane had 1 carry for 1 yard. Receiving, Vollard had 5 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. Lane had 2 catches for 13 yards. Waters had 4 catches for 52 yards. Dale, 2 catches, 24 yards. And Holbert had 1 catch for 17 yards. So Serra wins by the final score of 47-21. They are now 8-1 and 5-1 in conference play. And Serra drops to 6-3. And they are 4-2 in conference play. And they have a tough game coming up next week against Mitty, whereas Serra will play at home against St. Francis. We'll have the Serra game for you next Saturday here on BayPreps.com. Thanks to Dean Ayub, the athletic director here at Serra, and everyone for making us feel so welcome. And also, Robert, thanks to you. Great job today and a great win for Serra. Any final thoughts in this game? Obviously, it's a win that I'm sure a lot of your classmates are going to be very happy with.
Yes, and Eric Redwood, I was probably player of the game right there, getting over 200 yards today in rushing. And, we're going to see how they do against St. Francis. These are the Lancers in our last home game of the year. I can't wait.
Yeah, and Redwood, 225 yards on the ground today, just 66 yards shy of the WCAL leader in Ryan Severson. So for Robert Dieters, and also thanks to Jerry Gerard, the cameraman and producer, I'm Pat O'Rourke, sign off from Freitas Field. The final score, Serra 47, SI 21. You've been watching high school football action on BayPreps.com. Have a good weekend.